So co-sleeping, and we hear about all these like horror stories, like, you know, like 9-year-olds are still sleeping in their parents' bedroom or in their same bed, and you think like, how could that ever happen? Like, that won't be me. I'll do everything in my power to make sure like I don't co-sleep with the baby, or if the baby is in my room, and then I'll transition to them 6 months later into their bedroom. And you try to do everything not to be one of those like parents, and they could be your close friends and your family members, and you think like, no, that's not going to be me. I'm going to learn from them. They'll be the lesson and I'll learn from that. Now when your baby gets sick, they want to be held sometimes, and not just like held to be rocked to sleep. They want to be held the whole duration of the sleep. So when this happens, they're in your bed, and then maybe like that night you rock them to sleep, and then the next night you're rocking them to sleep, you get tired and you put them next to you and they fall asleep. And then that happens for like about maybe like a week. Now you try to transition them back into their bassinet or their rock and play, and they're not having it. They're throwing a wrench into that plan. Now I went from co-sleeping to now having my baby, it's exactly a week today, sleeping in his bed. Initially what we had was the bassinet, and the bassinet wasn't to his liking, and then we switched over to our rock and play. And then he got sick, he started sleeping with us. And then after that, whenever we tried to put him into his crib, because he outgrew the bassinet and the rock and play, he just wasn't having it. He would scream, and it would just be this like painful cry that I just couldn't even like tolerate. I spoke to some people who did sleep training. I read a book, did all these like sorts of things to kind of gear me up to like be able to like put him in his crib and let him just kind of like cry until he slept. And so I did a couple times, put him in his crib and let him cry. But I remember the first time I did it, like he cried, and then as soon as he fell asleep, a couple of minutes later, I was like, oh, let me poke my head into the room and see how he's doing. And he woke up right away. So I'm like, all that crying just kind of like, I ruined it because I wasn't strong enough. So if you feel like you're one of those people that they're going to cry, they're going to fall asleep, and then you need to see them, just put the monitor in there before. And so little by little, I kind of built up the courage to just do that more, start putting him in the crib more. And I did that before, like before he got sick, I had him in the crib. I would put him in the crib occasionally, but it was just kind of like undoing some of what I did before and then redoing some of the things I did before. So I tried to start putting him in the crib more often, try to hang out more in his bedroom. So I was preparing breakfast, and then all of a sudden, like I had this strong pain in my back and my lower back. And I knew what it was from. It was from co-sleeping with the baby, and sometimes like in the night, I would nurse him. And that's another reason why people find it really easy to co-sleep when it comes to feedings, nursing and bottle feeding. It's just really easy when they're right next to you, so you don't have to like bend over constantly throughout the night. And he wouldn't sleep through the night, so it was just easy to just have him right next to me. I went to the chiropractor right away, and I knew why it was happening. It was just like this chronic strain that I was putting on my back. And so I was like, you know what? Tonight is the night. He's going into his crib and he'll cry it out. He'll probably wake up a couple times, but I have to be strong. So I did it. It worked, but I slept horribly. I missed him so much. I was so used to having him next to me. I was so used to like seeing him and feeling him and smelling him. That night I slept horribly. I tried to go to bed around 1:30. I didn't get to sleep till probably like after 2, and I woke up at 6:30. And then the next day he was already up, and then I went and got him. And then the next day he slept longer. He slept till like 8:39. And so like little by little, it's just becoming easier sleeping. Do not co-sleep with your child if they're less than 4 to 5 months. Exhaust all other possibilities. Rock and play, bassinet, crib. If you move when you sleep, do not co-sleep with your child. If you are one of those parents or one of those people that you know you don't move, you move to like a very bare minimum, or you could put a barrier between you and baby. They sell those. There's also co-sleeping, a hybrid between a a bassinet and a crib, and you could attach that to your bed, so it's called a co-sleeper. So exhaust all other possibilities before you actually put them in the bed with you. I wish you all the world of luck on sleep training with your baby, and I don't recommend co-sleeping with your child unless you really have to, or they're not sleeping and it's putting you into the state of like, this is the only way you could sleep. All right, well, I wish you all luck in your journey ahead. Thanks, bye.